Hey, Mega Von and YouTube. This is Poteen and I will be doing a Blue Line Lore Master rotation video. I'll be going over class traits, racial traits, uh, virtues, the LIs I use, and the rotations I use. Obviously, it's Blue Line, very powerful class. I will be using my favorite pet Blue Line is the Lynx. I like their durability and I like their damage. Um, I was thinking, I think that's about it. I will explain how these minor pet commands and major commands work. It's kind of interesting. It's new. I like it a lot because you didn't usually use your bar abilities, but now you're going to. So very, very cool. If you like this content, please, give us a subscribe. It really does mean a lot. It does help us a ton. I think we just hit 800 subs, so very cool on YouTube. Also, if you want to catch me live, I'm on Twitch Tuesday through Saturdays. I'll be on LOTRO, and on Sundays and Mondays, I play a little bit of Elder Scrolls Online, tanking only. All right, then. So let's just get right into it. The blue line, or what I call the blue line, is it's called Keeper of the Animals. A strong bond with the beast for attack and defense. All right. I am level 90. I will be doing a 6-man instance solo, which he can easily do. So Survival Instinct, I put that all the way to 5. This gives me pet morale and pet incoming damage is decreased. Potent Sigil, which 30% Wizard Sigil damage, which you'll see me use pretty consistently. Hunting Instinct, pet attack duration, pet damage, and call to pet damage. Unwearied Companion, new pet spawn with morale bubble, 200% bubble magnitude. So you can switch them in and out of battle. I won't be doing that, but they're definitely probably something you want to do in raids and stuff like that. Need for haste, so I get 60% pet summoning induction and 40% call to pet cooldown. So the first pet you're going to get on this line, obviously you get some default ones, but the very first one you'll get through this line is called the Bog Guardian. He is a ranged attack. He does roots under the ground. He's pretty cool looking. He looks like a little island of bog on his. I guess you know what? Let me just show you. It'd be easier if I just show you. I'm gonna dismiss my pet here, and then I will just go right through here. I think the bear you get automatically, the raven you get automatically. I'm pretty sure that's it. The rest of them you have to go into stuff. I do have different skins. Yeah. Okay, so here he is. This is the Bog Guardian. Obviously, kind of a boggy swamp. I name them after some of my viewers in stream because I can't come up with names. Even though, because I'm Irish, I would call this one the Ratlin Bog, which is a song. Okay. Let's go back to this. The next one is Wild Altricity, which is going to be a haste, yeah. 16 Wild Sigil, so 16 plus 16 to Wild Sigil duration. Prepare for war, so tactical mastery rating, pet damage, damage reduction while executing commands. The next pet we'll get here is called the Lesser Great Eagle, or the Noble Friend. This one is close range. All skill inductions are immune to setbacks, so that's kind of nice. Let's see what this one looks like. Right here. Obviously, a big, big eagle. I named him Landerval, if you know that, the Lord of the Great Eagles. All right. I don't want to do this. I want to do J. After that, we have Hearty Diet. So my pet's max morale is up. Pet morale, physical morale, and tactical mitigation. Retribution. So don't you touch him. So 15% damage buff if the pet is hit with a critical attack, you gain a damage bonus. And then also, once you max it out, you gain Retribution, which is a 3-second stun. And also, your Wizard Sigils will be imbued with Fury. which I'll explain that. Okay, Catnip is an amazing ability. It has a 45-second, so usually you get him off in one fight, but you don't always have to use it. It'll heal my pet for an initial, also does a hot for 2 seconds, for 8 seconds, and it removes diseases, fear, poison, things like that. With maximum strength of 95 target. So the next pet we unlock here is called the Friend of the Large Hunters. This is a. I apologize. It's my phone. Transmission. All right. Transmission. It is the Sabertooth, which I'll show you here. He is obviously a very, very nasty looking creature here. They also get their own abilities here. Very critical, big hitter. DPS pet. Okay. After that, we have loyalty. So upon receiving a critical hit, your pet will sacrifice 10% of its morale to heal you for 10% of your max morale. And you cannot gain this effect more than once every 15 seconds. After battle treat, on an enemy defeat, your pet heals for 2% of its max morale and gains an outgoing damage buff and 10% attack damage. Unbreakable Bond, this is the one that you're going to use on yourself. This one, every point of damage and morale transforms into points of damage to power. Cannot be evaded. No. All right. So that is a nice one for your pet and you. After that, don't interrupt me. 10% damage returns. Enemies who interrupt your inductions pay dearly for their rudeness. At base, your return absorb 10 or 7% of damage. So at base, but I brought it up to 3, 13% damage return. Damage absorbed, you absorb and reflect percentage of all damage done to you whilst inducing. Critical coordination, your pet scores a critical hit. Your next skill is guaranteed to crit as well. Murder Crows, this is an absolutely devastating ability. Absolutely awesome on bosses, things like that. So summon, obviously, a Murder Crows to tear apart your enemy, damaging and disordering. So it is absolutely, it is a huge ability. And then Feral. You gain a unique buff based on which pet you summon. So if I summon a bear, I will get 10% max morale. If I summon birds, I get 5% reduced of my induction setback immunity. And if I have felines, I will get 5% critical damage, or critical, 5% critical chance and 10% melee damage. And then if I have the Bog Guardian, my range skills are increased by 5 meters, and my tactical critical chance is increased by 2.5. I also am putting on right now tactical damage, which is in the red line, and Bane Flare, which is an ability I like, especially when I'm blue line and I can't always pull targets off of me. This will give me a 15-second daze to up to 5 targets. But it is close range, so it's when things are on. All right, now as you unlock these abilities on the side, you will get Inner Flame. Inner Flame is a powerful heal that will heal you and your pet at the same time. Inspiring Rage. Effect applied to the raid within 40 meters, plus 5% damage. And that's when I use Sign of the Wild Rage, which you'll see. You probably won't see me use it, maybe, but I'll tell you what it is. Major pet commands. This is naturally armed. Major pet commands will encourage your allies to take up their arms, dealing much more damage for a short period of time. So when I use major pet commands, up to 40 meters in a raid, the whole raid will get 10% more damage for 15 seconds. Power or battle knowledge. Your knowledge of histories allow you to encourage your allies, recalling images of noble banners carried steadfastly into the flames of war. So you will increase your damage 25% to melee damage, range damage, and tactical damage. And Fellowship Friend. So if you have a bear on, and it scores a critical hit, it'll bestow a pet buff upon your whole fellowship. Bears be incoming melee damage and negative to incoming range damage. Birds are the same thing. Cats, I will get 3% melee damage and 2% tactical damage, and Bog Guardians will get 3% range damage and 2% tactical damage. Bolstered Bond, all pets gain 30% morale, 35% damage. Power, critical chance, all mitigations, resistances, evade, and parry. And then Tutelage of the Brown Wizard. You're training with Radagast strength and draw bonuses from the Wild Sigil when they are at full potency. So when Wild Fire, Wild Lightning, you will get, so with Wild Fire, tier 5, I will get Sight of the Wild Rage, critical chance. Wild Lightning will give me crowd control immunity, and Wild Frost will give me Sign of the Wild Protection duration. Alright, so that is the class traits that I use. Obviously, when you go into the other lines, red and yellow, it costs you 2 points instead of 1. Okay, so this is the first time we're going to go over racials. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'll go over all the racials. So everybody knows that a human has these racials. They will have tactical might bonus. So obviously, when I do fellowship maneuvers, to restoration, to tacticals, and also power restoration and the damage. There is uppercut, so this is the 3-second daze. Has to be very close. Man sword damage bonus, so just one-handed sword and two-handed swords have +5. Man of the Fourth Age, will. This is a will buff. Balance of Man, so evade, parry rating, and block rating all increased. Virtuous Man, so justice, +1 to justice, confidence, and patience. Duty Bound, this is a nice one. This is one I use. Adds a bonus to your fellowship morale. So any fellowship within 20 meters, when I use this, will get +5 to max morale for 10 minutes. It is a 30-minute duration, or a 30-minute cooldown. Return to Breed, obviously it does exactly what it says when you're. And then Strength and Morale in combat. The race of man is known known for its unquenchable spirit. The skill restores lost morale, so it will heal 4,977 morale. Also on a 30-minute cooldown. The ones I like to use right now is Man of the Fourth Age, Tactics and Might bonus, Duty Bound, Strength and Morale, and a Balance of Man. So those are my racials. I won't go through all of these. I'll just go through the ones I'm using. Confidence, because I get critical rating, finesse rating, evade rating, and passive bonuses are physical and tactical mastery rating. Fertility is tactical mitigation, vitality, and physical mitigation. The reason I use this is just for a little bit of morale buff. So this one, it's not going to be all damage. It's going to be a mixture of damage and stuff to keep me alive. Its passive bonus is max morale. Idealism, 18 to Fate, incoming healing rating, and maximum morale, and also passive bonus to maximum morale. Mercy, so evade rating, Fate, vitality, and then the passive is maximum morale. And then Wisdom, which is will, tactical mastery rating, finesse rating, and the passive bonuses are physical mastery and tactical mastery. All right, so that goes through all of our virtues, traits, I mean. Now we're going to go through our LIs. So I'm using the stick. So I'm using Herald of the Eagle, which is going to give me will, vitality, and tactical mastery rating. I'm doing skill power cost, so the power cost is reduced and my max power is increased. Pet damage, so so it's pet damage, call to pet damage, and will is increased. Inner Flame base healing. So Inner Flame base healing is increased, and outgoing healing rating is increased. Lightning skill critical chance multiplier. So my lightning skills, which I think I'm only using one right now, has a chance to crit. And then I'm also doing maximum power. And then my other one, which is going to be my book, is the same thing, Herald of Eagle, so will, vitality, and tactical mastery rating. Skill induction speed, so all skills, inductions are in speed, are increased, or I guess decreased. Physical mastery rating, tactical mastery rating. Pet morale, so my pet morale is increased, and also my vitality is increased. Knowledge of the lore master duration. Knowledge of the lore master duration is increased by 8, and my will is increased. And target resistance debuffing skills, which is what I'm mostly going to be doing, is sending my pet in and debuffing, is target resistance first debuffs and finesse rating. And then also, same thing again, I'm doing max morale. All right, So that's to do all that. I'm obviously going to bring the pet up now. This is my Lynx, and his name is Johnny Destructo. So here is the rotations. Now the rotations are obviously going to change depending on what I'm fighting, but I'll just go through them really quickly. First thing I want to do is send my pet in. So I actually take the pet attack skill and I drag it off my bar. And I put it in here where I want to put it. And the reason that is if I open up with either minor or major pet commands, it actually does a little bit of damage, and the mob will actually attack me first, and I do not want that. I want the pet to attack first and get all the aggro. So I send my pet in first. If it's just one mob, especially here, it's going to be a lot of signatures. I will use minor pet command. Now, how this works is there is obviously 4 skills down here, since you see 2 through 5. It is set up exactly how this is set up. So my minor pet command actually does this 4th ability over called Slashing Claw. This is a double attack and also does a bleed and outgoing damage. If I do get a crit, I actually put another bleed on. So this could be very devastating, but it is single target. Now my 3 ability is Major Pet Command. Major Pet Command is going to be this ability, which is a 3rd ability over. This is Feral Strikes. Now this does up to 5 targets, does a lot of massive damage, and also crit and heal, or dot. The next one is Sign of the Wild. Okay, now Sign of the Wild, it'll also apply to my raid of 40% or 40 meters, a percentage increase of damage. Now, Wild Strikes here, these are the ones that are connected with this one. So this ability is this ability. Remember, number 2 is going to be this ability here. Number 3 is going to be this ability here. Number 4 is this ability, which is just going to be another type of attack. And then this one is Sign of the Wild Protection. This is actually a buff to my pet. Actually, with this one, every one of them it's different. With Turntail, it actually lessens my threat. So I don't want to be using it as I'm fighting Sword. So those are the rotations I do there. I will do, if it's multiple targets, I will do major pet command. If it's just single target, I'll do just minor pet command. Now, when the pet has aggro, I will throw on Burning Embers, Wizard's Fire, Wizard's Frost, and Wizard's Spark. Okay, so all these have their little buffs and debuffs. There is quite a bit going on. Every one of them has a debuff, basically. This one has a debuff, but also does... Burning Embers is one of my first ones because it has a dot on it. Okay, so if things get weird, if people get close to me, I obviously have Staff Strike. I also have, which is the one I stole out of my yellow line, this is Bane Flare. So up to 5 targets, it will daze them. It's a way for me just to kind of get control of things if things go crazy. I also have Light of the Rising Dawn, which is interruption, but also it does a little bit of damage. This is Retribution. This is that stun ability, which you will see me use every once in a while. Knowledge of the Lore Master. Obviously, this is a huge debuff. You'll see me using it on the bosses. And then Battle Knowledge. This is obviously a huge buff, and you'll see me using that on it too. Now, with this one, if you press F1, obviously target yourself. Press F1 again, it'll target your pet. Now, this is key to when you're using like Light of Hope. This is going to be a little bit of heal. I also do it when I'm using Inner Fire. And you can also use Knowledge of Cures to actually cure the pet too. Or you can use Catnip. And this one is obviously a better ability, but it has a 45-second cooldown. This one has a 15-second cooldown, which is why I end up using Light of Hope more than Catnip. But if it gets dirty, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of mobs, seems to be taking a lot of damage, I will use this. Murder of Crows, obviously I told you, you will see me use this on a boss, and it will absolutely shred him. Power of Knowledge, this obviously also transfers and restores power, and it does damage over time. You don't want to move with it because it is a channel ability. I think that is about it. Obviously I have Unbreakable Bond, which is that one I said that 100% of all incoming healing is redirected to the target of Unbreakable Bond, which I'll just throw it on him. See, it's a toggle ability. It has a 15-second duration. But it also, every point of damage done, morale is transferred into points of damage to power. So it's a nice little ability for that. This is my Unbreaking, so I will break with Clever Escape. This is how I get away from root snares, daisies. Those are my heals. I do have Wisdom of the Council, which is obviously one that I'm going to heal for myself if stuff goes crazy. It will heal me up to 50% max, max morale. And then there is Call of the Valar. This is Keeper of the Animals, Retribution, Catnip, Unbreakable Bond. You call upon the wisdom of the Valar, recovering some of the skills provided temporary immunity to induction setback from damage. So obviously I can't be interrupted when I'm using this. Like when I have these other abilities, my induction for 10 seconds cannot be interrupted. And it will also reset the abilities Retribution, Catnip, and Unbreakable Bond. All right? That's about it. So we'll go in. I'll send the first pet in here. Johnny Destructive was very destructive. We'll see how it goes. Did we already have this guy? Yeah. There he is. So obviously got to send the pet in first. There we go. He's gonna. So I did 2, which is gonna be the one you just saw disappear on my actual pet bar, and then I'm just gonna do that. I can repeat this again. I'm just watching his health too. Then I send him. I press 1 again. So he's actually attacking the one I want him to attack, which is gonna be the 1. Now for this one, instead of using 2, I'm going to use my ability 3, which is going to be the major pet command, and that's going to be an area effect. You're going to see them all light up here. Boom, hit them all. Now, whatever pet, when I tab, whatever, see how he's turning to the right? Whoever I hit, that pet will actually turn to him and turn to the mob I hit. So I can either join the pet by using control F1 and then F. The F ability is assist, or the F key is assist, but I just tab whichever one I want, and then Johnny Destructor will attack whichever pet or whichever mob I actually put him on. See, like this one? I haven't had him attack him yet, but look, if I do that, Johnny's going to come around the corner here. See? And then he got off me. Because Johnny doesn't want them to touch me as long as I press the 1 ability first. Now, if I would use Minor Pet Command and I use that first, then he would obviously pull on me because I do a little bit of damage with Minor Pet Command. I can also stun him. Johnny would turn right on. So as long as he hits him first, I should not pull aggro off. Because I am much softer than old Johnny Destructive. Oh, I'm very whimsical also, if you didn't know. Same thing here, we're going to find those ones, the signature ones. We're going to send Johnny in. He is going to use my free ability, which is the area effect ability. And then I'm going to start buffing and debuffing. And then I'm going to send Johnny on to the next one once he falls. And I just press 1 just to make sure Johnny's on him before I start throwing spells, so that he never gets off me. I don't want pets on. I don't want mobs attacking me, you know. I'm just a wee little lore master. You don't want that nonsense. Now for this one, I'm just going to let Johnny attack, and I'm going to show you what Power of Knowledge is. See, I'm drawing power out. It's also a very good, but I can't move with it because I am channeling, but it is a really good, like almost like a dot, but very, very fast. Same thing, I'm going to just ease out. I'm watching over here, I know a mob moves around over here. Now for that one, I'm doing the shift 2 and 3 just because they're fast abilities. And I know the worms don't really take that much damage on them. There's Johnny. Johnny's barely taking damage, which with the blue line build should be the case. There we go. We're going to put that on there, a little dot. And then we're going to start debuffing. Well, we're going to dot first and then debuff. Now, if I want, I can move in and use my staff if I want to. There we go. Same thing here, just going to start dot. Oh, you know what? I'm going to try to make it to the second bosses here. Let's see how it goes. Jonathan, you're not doing your job, Johnny. We got a dot here. Let's see if it train pulls everything. I feel like it will. So we might get to see a little action. There we go. There you go. See, Johnny will get right up on him. Okay. Now, as you see, my abilities changed. All of them got real powerful. They were actually immune. And that happens with Retribution. Now, Johnny, I'm going to target him. I'm going to get rid of his poison. See, now it's going to happen. I'm going to stun everything around me. And then I'm going to do an area effect, let him take all of the aggro off. And I did that with Bane Flare, which is that one I was telling you about. And that was, it's just 5-man days for like 15 seconds. But it buys me enough time to really gain control of the whole situation, so I'm not in trouble. There we go. And this one, I'm just going to go through the whole thing. I'll actually go to Shift 5. So there you go. Did we pull this whole area? We sure did. Oopsies. But as you saw, I mean, that was 2 extra mobs plus the 4 that's in there. Besides using the Bane Flare, I mean, it was pretty in control. I wasn't freaking out. I didn't have to use any of my special heal abilities, which I have a few of that I call get out of jail cards. There we go. Alright, now we're going to put that one on here. Johnny's going to destroy him. Oh yeah, the sigils too, you can actually cast them one, which is kind of nice. There we go. Now we'll get a little heal on Johnny here. Uh-oh, what do we got here? All these abilities are... Now for this one, I'm going to show you Inner Flame. Inner Flame, I just cast, and it heals both me and Johnny with like a channel. Now I'm going to... Also, the debuffs help so that Johnny doesn't take as much damage. So that's another reason why I like some debuffs. Alright, now for this one, if I get on this corner right here, see this little rock? If I get on it, it should pull this mob without pulling the boss. Oh my word. There we go. And then we're going to let him put a little dot on there. And then I'm just going to debuff. And then do it again. There we go. And then obviously this is going to be a little bit easier because it's just... We're going to jump over here. We're going to get Johnny to attack him. Johnny going to put a little bleed on. And then I'm going to debuff them. So Johnny's got the worm now, and I'm going to debuff him. Alright, now I'm going to go over here. The reason is I don't want to pull the boss yet. But I will. There we go. Okay, I guess we're doing it all. I'll be pretty happy. It's done. Okay, Johnny got them all off. We'll get some heals here. Gonna do Alt 5. Johnny needs some heals. Okay, we killed that one. Killed that one. It should just be, yep, these worms. Okay. So it looks like it's us and the Blight Caller. We're gonna put some catnip. Nope. Some catnip on Johnny. I'm gonna debuff myself. Now he should go green here soon. Now that was an awful pull, just so everybody knows. Alright, Johnny. Jonathan, alright, Inner Flames it is. Alright, let's kill him. Johnny, finish this guy off. Johnny, get this guy too, while you're at it. Right? Very cool. Let's get the light over here. These guys are little guys, those kind of explode. I'm gonna put Murder Crows on this guy. There we go. There we go. Johnny did it. Johnny survived. Johnny's awesome. So that wasn't too bad. I mean, obviously it was an awful pull. Johnny pulled the Blight Caller without my permission. That's so Johnny destructive, though, isn't it? All right, we're gonna push into the next guy here. And obviously, I mean, when I say next guy, it's two bosses. Johnny did that. Jonathan, where are you at? There he is. He gets lost easily. I mean, he doesn't have whiskers. Alright, we do have a worm here. Alright. So, that would have went worse had I not been a blue line Lord Master. I think we all know that's true. Because that was 3, 4, 5 mobs. Plus a boss. And then 2 more worms come later. That was chaos. That was chaos. I burned a lot of my heals too, just to stay alive during that first initial burst. But I did buff and debuff quite a bit too. All right, now this one, we'll see how it goes. He's obviously not as good at pulling aggro and let's get this guy. Alright. Obviously a lot of pulls here. So I'm gonna try to debuff someone. Johnny. Johnny is indeed destructive. We're gonna do 3 too. 3 also because we want that area effect damage, because that will also make sure I don't pull Johnny. And then I always put the 1 button before I throw, or not always. If I know they have good aggro, then I don't care to use the 1 button again. There we go. But you see why I have the Bane Flare and stuff, why I like to have that extra daze abilities and stuff, just so I can get a hold of stuff when stuff goes crazy. We'll do a dot on there. I'm going to obviously cleanse Johnny Destructo here. Also, if the frost ability that I'm using there, which is shift free, if that is used as a flank, I do heal myself. It's a tiny bit, but it it can all add up. All right, let's keep going. You know what? There's crawling arms in here, though. I kind of need those for the quest, so let's do that. All right, we're gonna do 3. And then we're actually gonna use power powers this time. Now remember, this actually draws power, but it also it'll drain their power, but it also does damage too. Do we have any more arms around here? There's arms over there. I feel like we should do it. Alright, let's do shift 4 or 5, because it's fun. It'd be nice if they spawned, not burrow, but actual arms. That'd be cool. Oh, there's 2 here. Alright. Here we go. Let's go in. He doesn't have his area effect. So I'm gonna let him sink that in. I'm gonna just dot this guy and debuff this guy. Alright. So this one, obviously, I'm going to daze. It should be a pretty decent daze. Alright, here we go. I still got crawling arms coming in behind me and Johnny here. So now that I know he has good aggro, we're gonna go here. We're gonna do 3 now, because we know that's an area. All I need is 2 more arms. 1 more arm after this, actually. There we go. We got a burrower. We're gonna obviously dot him. There we go. Alright, we need 1 more arm. Does anybody have an arm around here? Anybody want to be an arm for us? Just looking for an arm to kill. Oh, okay. Going around this way, I'm guessing. There we go. Oh, Johnny here. He's got some bleeds. I'm gonna just cleanse him. Jonathan. Alright. You think there's any in that front room? Okay, this place I know. I know where we're at. Alright, Johnny. Follow me, Johnny. You think there's arms in this last area? I don't think so. You know what? I think there's arms down below. Oh, we'll definitely get them in the, I'm sorry, in the actual boss area. Now, I'm only going to try the boss area once. If it goes, awesome. If it doesn't, bad. This is where those arms came out. That's good to know because right before the boss area, you're going to have an area where those worms come out, the burrow crawlers. Okay, so same thing here. We're going to send this cat in. We're going to hit 3 because we want the area effect damage. So then we can just start hitting everything.
Incoming transmission.
We're going to recycle the debuffs. Johnny's still doing good. We're gonna go cleanse Johnny. We're gonna give him a little light cloak. There we go. Johnny, go get him.
Incoming transmission. Incoming transmission.
Now, if anything attacks me, I'm gonna throw retribution on him. So right here, retribution. Now I'm just gonna put build buffs on him, which should slaughter him pretty quick here. Another one here. I'm gonna draw Johnny again. gonna let him got him, and I'm gonna finish him off. Same thing here. We're gonna heal Johnny for a little bit. It's not much, but we're not too worried about it because we're gonna get it here in a minute. It's only a 15-second heal, so he's not taking a dramatic amount of damage. So it's okay to use the 15-second heal because I'll probably use it again. Still be able to recover some of the health. And then I'm gonna cleanse him because he's got a poison on him. Alright, now this is it. This is the boss. Now, the boss here is actually 2 bosses. So I'm gonna fight one first and then fight the other one. You also can get these abilities here. This is cut spicy meat. I'm going to put it on him so he has physical mitigation and stuff. I'm going to go all out on this one. I'm going to do all the abilities I can. All but apparently Bane Flare because that's how. Alright. These are on 30 seconds, 30 minutes, so we won't be able to use that. We will still be able to use Wisdom of Counsel, which hopefully we won't have to do, but it looks like we might. Alright, so he's going to start blah, 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 talking. We're going to go shift circle here in a minute. So that we're all reflecting damage together. Oops. We're going to put Murder Crows on him too. We're going to throw Blank Bane here. Alright, I'm gonna obviously stop that. Help me out! Oh no! What went wrong there? Okay, we're gonna try it one more time, right? Murderer Crow should be up by the time we're done there. Johnny, you know what? We're gonna wait. We'll do Johnny later. That was crazy. Maybe I should do the bear. But normally you just slaughter that. You know what? I'm trying to think. Should I wait? That was weird. I don't know why that didn't work. That should have gave me a lot more health than what I had. Alright, let's go. This will be it. After this one, we'll go through we'll recap the rotation, and then that'll be it. This will have timestamps on it, so you can jump around if you want to. This will be my last take on it. I don't know why that happened so badly. I mean, obviously it's the 6-man. It's the last boss. Right, let's do this. Let's eat some meat. There you go, Johnny. Alright, let's try to keep this under control this time. Now I might switch off and on to different people, let Johnny grab them all. Johnny, help the man out. we go. All right, that time it worked. Okay, Johnny's got them all. Exactly what we want. Okay, this guy's being a jerk. Johnny. Why is this happening? It's too many. We need to get this guy again. All right, Johnny, get on it. Johnny, go get this cat. We're gonna murder Crow's him in a minute. And now it's over. Draw some power from him. And I'm honestly just trying to buy time. There we go, so that I can get Interflame. There we go, we did it. So that was a little bit rougher. That was a lot of mobs at once, but we pulled it off. Obviously, a very powerful class. The blue line. Power restored. I don't think I have that. All right, let's go through our recap again one more time. So obviously, I send the pet in first with the attack. Obviously, just pull this off the bar. Put it at my 1. The minor and major pet commands, which is obviously the 3rd and 4th one over. Minor is this first ability. Major is the second one. I did use Sign of the Wild Power quite a few times there at the end, which obviously does just a huge attack. If it crits, it has bleed on it. So does the other two. This I did use Sign of the Wild Protection, which is obviously a buff or perceived threats. I probably should take that off on this one. So that was what I did there. Catnip. Catmint is obviously a heal. Also removes all of the negative debuffs. So after I do these commands, I do shift 1, 2, 3, 4. These are all buffs and debuffs, and they're all hots. Yeah, see, this is a hot, or a dot, sorry. And this is obviously, this is a really good buff for you. This is a dot and also a debuff. When things were happening and I needed to interrupt, I have Light of the Rising Dawn. I did use Retribution quite a lot, which is a stun ability. Also, it makes these wizard sigils imbued. It makes them more powerful. I did use Bane Flare, which is my area effect. 15-second daze. That got me out of a lot of trouble. At the end there, I did use Knowledge of Power, which is a huge debuff. And I did use Battle of Knowledge, which is a huge buff of damage. If I press F1, it targets me. If I press F1 again, it'll put my pet, and I can use Light of Hope, which is a big heal. Inner Flame, I don't need to target us because this actually just heals both of us together in a channeled ability. Knowledge of Cure was one I just did to get his stuff off. This was one that saved my life. Wisdom of the Council, which is one where when I'm hitting the target, it'll stun them, but it'll restore a lot of my health. Obviously, negate some of the damage and reflect some of the damage back. So it's a really nice one. Call of the Valar is one that will give me my abilities back, but also immune to induction setbacks. So I will get, say they're on cooldown, I will get back Retribution, Catmint, and Unbreakable Bond, which are all really nice abilities. If I'm really close to them, I will use Staff Strike, which is just a very close melee ability. I do have some Cut of Spicy Meat, which is obviously a Lore Master, and it is for feline only. It does increase and do melee critical readings and physical mitigation. Unbreaking, which is my or Clever Escape. This is one of my to shake off days of stuns and roots. So that's about it. Murder of Crows I did use. It is a huge boss killer. It does a ton of damage. It does 1,300 um, every 1 second for 15 seconds. Also has major debuffs on it. So it is absolutely for a 2-minute ability. It is huge for bosses. Power of Knowledge is one that drains. It does damage, but it also will restore power to me. These are racial traits: Strength and Morale, which you saw me use, and Duty Bound, which is a buff that lasts for 10 minutes. They both have 30-minute cooldowns, though, so don't want to be using them all the time. I think that is about it. So with that, you guys, I want to thank you guys. It is obviously an honor and a privilege to get to put these videos out every week. It is absolutely amazing. You guys have done tremendous job supporting me. It is absolutely amazing, for real. Thank you guys so much. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, leave them in there. You can always whisper me, hit me up on Discord. You can whisper me on Twitch. I'm always available. If I have the answers, I will give them to you. If I don't know what's going on, I'll find somebody who can find the answers for you. All right. So thank you guys so much. And with that, may you continue your adventures with the Heart of a Hobbit. Thank you guys so much for watching my YouTube.